Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I have been away for a while because after Kisumu, I decided to at least come home. So I'm shooting this video from home. But I have been following the Supreme Court case for some time. When the judges asked Azimio lawyers to give evidence on how the results were manipulated from the total and how that number could actually be edited, I a little bit went paranoid because it was proving to be a challenge. And I analyzed in one of the last video that it was a bit of a challenge. But today, the presentation by Julie Soweto, the bombshell on the Siaya-born lawyer, actually is from Assemble, on how a Venezuelan cargo fixed Ruto rigged or rather manipulated results is something that I even want to believe that the strategists on Wafula that working for in the interest of IBC did not see coming. That is something that, of course, no one expected. Julie Soweto made the presentation and explained on how the foreigners were manipulating results. Remember, this was a rejoinder after the IBC insisted that there was no foreigner who was allowed access in the IBC portal. And they were just to come and do maintenance, but there is nothing more from it. That is why Willie Sotieno's presentation in Supreme Court was saying that if you have a plumber and after fixing something in your bathroom, you still see him around, then that's a sexual offender. So the Venezuelans are supposed to be just maintenance, just to do maintenance, but nothing beyond that. How did they make their way there? For those of us who maybe had not watched it, I want you to watch it here.
My lords and my ladies, is that the IEBC stamp? It's on the IBC portal, looking like it's been superimposed over there. What are you
doing? That presentation has really caught my attention and the attention of the country. If you go to Twitter now, something is trending there by the name Jose Camargo. Jose Camargo is trending. Now, I want us to try to just do a breakdown or make some few observations that you can ask from that video. I wanted to just make some few observations from that video. But before that, Julie Soweto made a presentation saying that according to it, one Kim's kit was sending results from different polling stations. So there was one Kim's kit that sent results from Nyeri and Mount Elgon. Remember, this is not a possibility. This should be impossible because one Kim's kit is supposed to send per one polling station, and there was supposed to be a backup polling station, a backup Kim's kit for every polling station. Now, if there were backup Kim's kits per ward, then I think there were 6 or 5 per ward. What that means is even the backup Kim's kit should be within that ward. If you compare Nyeri and Mount Elgon, it's way far. So there is no way that one can be a backup to the other. And Kim's kit were actually set to work within, they were actually preset to work within a specific area. So I want you to find out something. There has been many argument. There is an argument that has come here that perhaps Azimio la Umoja just did a screen grab, that perhaps the name Jose Camargo was just in the screen, so it was just you to confuse. Now, if you go and download Form 34A, that Form 34A from Ranga, you download and print it, you will find the name there. You will find that name of that gentleman there. That tells you that, of course, something was going on. And you might ask yourself, is it possible that it's only one form that has his name? But then this is it. The Form 34A, that's something that I've just realized. The Form 34As were being printed in Greece. That's a thing, like a company. The Greece-based company, the same company that printed the ballot boxes is the same one that printed ballot papers, printed the Form 34A, the Form 34C, the Form 34B that was supposed to be used. Any other paper that IBC was using was printed by the Greece company. So this Venezuelan company was actually not Venezuelan, the Smartmatic company, where allegedly, to the list, this Jose Camargo was working for, was actually working on the technology. So how is it connected? How is it possible? How would the name of Jose Camargo find its way in Form 34A? It's as simple as that. It's something that needs an explanation. How is Smartmatic connected with the Greece company? What is the security feature that the name Jessica Million puts in a Form 34A? I think that's an explanation that, if it's explained well, it shows you in black and white that there was there was intrusion into the IBC website, or rather into the IBC portal. In fact, someone is saying that IBC portal has gone down. Now, is it a coincidence that Form 34A with the name Jose Camargo is disputed in terms of the results? Is it a coincidence? Because there are many forms. Maybe the others, there are some which did not have. But is it a coincidence? With disputed results. Then, if this one is just the name Camargo, if you do maybe if you do a forensic audit, this is if I'm using the right one, would you find different anomalies in other forms? That maybe is just the name, but how about the rest? These are questions that you still ask and just find out what exactly. But there is something I'm seeing there. There is a high likelihood that the form that is there is not the original form. Because even IBC, I think if you ask the PO, the presiding officer of that area, you will realize that the Form 34A that was actually taken to Muranga was the original one. Whatever we are seeing in that portal, most likely is an uploaded form, might not be the original form from the polling station. So that what IBC should actually, the IBC guys should actually do, or rather the Azimio lawyers should do, is to go to that polling station and grab the Form 34A, which is supposed to be in the ballot box. There is a copy that is supposed to remain in the ballot box. Then they compare the physical copy that is in the ballot box and whichever is in the portal. Are they the same? You should actually just find out that, and you will realize. I think at this time, the courts must then do due diligence. It's not a coincidence. And I want to tell you why Chebukati is worried. But before that, kindly subscribe to our channel. I also want to remind us about the Sarah Atiendo's fundraiser. Today is date 2. The fundraiser was extended by 15 days and it's ending on date 5th. That is going to be on Tuesday. Yes, on Monday. So I continue to urge us that we support Sarah Atiendo, is one of our subscribers who was diagnosed with acute leukemia in Kenyatta Hospital. And on the day that the Supreme Court is bringing the verdict, that is the day that we are also ending the fundraiser. We are just doing at least a 50 shillings donation to support Sarah to reach the 1 million target so that she can be discharged from the hospital. The balance was, after doing the first round of fundraiser, we raised 769,000. Then there was part that was paid by insurance. Then the balance remained 215,000. Out of the 215,000, I have so far collected 166,000. 166,000. If you do your math, that is 34,000 plus 15,000 is around 47,000. So we are short of the target by 47,000. I believe this is something that we can achieve, and we are going to pull this together. Kindly, the number is there: 0710 62 78 89. Kevin Olo, and you can support. Chebukati must actually, and I remember Paul Mwangi is actually saying that in that form you can trace even the stamp was questioned, and you can also trace the thumbnail, or rather the fingerprints of that foreigner, that Venezuelan. So what exactly is happening? At this point in time, the Supreme Court should just focus on one thing. Was there anyone who accessed IBC portal, or rather IBC servers, illegally? And that illegality is enough to say, call this election off. Because all of us are not tech savvy. And what Azimio lawyers have been in a position to grab from IBC portal and maybe just pick out within this short time just tells you that if you are to give this case another 1 month and the scrutiny goes on, we'll be in a position to find out what exactly happened. In my next analysis, I'm going to give you the report of the recount, that was to be conducted. I'm telling you, it's a bombshell on its own. If you just realize that this was actually infiltrated, then someone needs to answer the question. But then, what at this point in time, I think the commission should explain to the country the role of the foreigners in the election, which according to me was fraudulent. It's never explained. Remember, these areas of Muranga, where there is a problem of that Form 34A, or rather that Form 34A is exposed, is one of the counties that this Jose Camargo was actually holding. You remember the stickers? The stickers had 10 counties. Muranga is one of those counties. Is it a coincidence? So the fraudulent role of them needs to be explained very well. Then, the procurement of Venezuelans to the country and the conduct was questionable, because I understand they were actually deported back, but I think they had to be deported behind cameras so that the country will not see. I think that's not an image that the country will see. We might have seen that maybe the government is interfering by then, but if they had been important, I think at this point in time, this must be explained well. If they were imported that they still work? Because Smartmatic had never accepted or denied that those were their staff. They were not IBC staff, because they were procured by another person who was actually identified as an agent of Smartmatic company. At this point in time, I think the country needs full audit of the 3 Venezuelans transactions in the country, because it points out that there is something going on. Marjan Hussein, who is the head of the technical team, I think at this point in time must then be also questioned. Why? Remember the dossier by Raphael Tuji saying that at one point there is a gentleman who wanted to say something that was going on, and he was threatened by Marjan Hussein. And Marjan Hussein told him that utajua mimi ni nani. So while we go for Wafula Chebukati in terms of the other things, but I think the person that might have been in charge of the technical team, and I'm going for Marjan Hussein, because at one point Wafula Ezra Chiloba was at the ICT, was in the commission as in charge of the ICT. So understand that most of these ICT operations goes to the administrative, because this can't be paraded in the commission. The commission was already infiltrated. So there were also 4 commissioners that did not dance to the tune of Wafula Chebukati. So at this point in time, I think the judges should do the necessary, nullify, and if they nullify, we must audit the commission fully. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think. I am back with the next from the report of the recount.